Well, yeah, last time I checked it's still season 5, so what are those charlatans doing builds while the patch notes for the season 6 and the next patch are not even out yet? They might have to do it all over again. Hi everyone, I am Zeiss, and on this channel I turn you into an RPG master. So, if you're new to the channel and that's something you're interested in, make sure to smash the subscribe button and keep in touch. So yeah, like I was saying, it's still season 5 and I decided to go back to the Gauntlet because after playing the PTR it became obvious that each content piece of the game now is gonna have its own purpose and meaning and all that. And most importantly, the software analysts are gonna have to go back to the Gauntlet to measure their digs because basically every build is gonna be able to do max tier pit now to level their glyphs and all. So yeah, I decided to go back to this piece of content, and guess what? I played it a bunch of times and I ranked #1 on PlayStation, and across all platforms it appears I'm ranked #3. So yeah, I know how to make you a master, definitely. So the build I'm gonna show you today is the one that I used to achieve these results, and have in mind it's not very well optimized. Basically, that's my speed farmer for the open world, which I use to do hell tight and get boss materials and gold and shit like that. So here we go. Andario's Visage. The master working here is not very good because why bother optimizing some open world build, right? Well, it could go with less attack speed. That's what I mean. Tyrell's Might, if you don't have it by this time of the season, I don't know what you've been doing, but anyway, if you don't have it, you can use some armor with the aspect of Embaumer, and tamper total armor on it. That wouldn't be so bad at all. But then you have to socket with diamonds, your jewelry, right? The Curer's Embrace, the good thing is lots of points to Blood Surge here, lots of life, so that's pretty neat. And also the Bloodman Breaches. Also socket everything with Rugis, of course, for more life. That's not gonna be a thing next season, because they're gonna provide strength, but now is, so yeah, that's what we're doing here. Some boots with inexorable Reaper. The boots have movement speed, essence, lucky chance to stun, more movement speed. The Mortar Crux, that's a really good weapon for the Druid Flesh, so we can keep the essence up. The other way around it, we're not gonna talk about the other way around it now, because we're gonna talk about it next season, because that weapon is gonna change. Anyway, Druid Flesh to keep the resource up, and that's also a lot of damage on this weapon. The other important thing here is it's 1.2 attacks per second. So it's easy to get to the breakpoints of 70% attack speed and 100% attack speed with this weapon to get a really good cut and breakpoint on Blood Surge, because that's what we're gonna use to destroy things. Sever, like we see here, it's turned into a mobility skill, and that's really a tendency since the Gauntlet was introduced actually. The core skills of the Necromancer are becoming utility skills, if you have the brains to actually use them as such. Okay, so we also have here the Banished Lord's Talisman. Could be better. A Ring of Starless Skies. It doesn't even need the attack speed masterwork here. Some ring with blood-based aspect and attack speed and damage and stuff, right? And also a shield with the cursed aura. That's the important thing here, and as you can probably see, same as my boots, it has chance to stun, right? And okay, let's move on to the Book of the Dead. It's skirmishers for the crit chance, bone mages for the damage, and the golem which is sacrificed is blood, but we can also safely go with iron golem for more damage. That could have helped to maybe rank higher, right? But go figure. Skill 3, I'm using Reap with all the upgrades here to Acolyte's Reap to get corpses, imperfectly balanced, maximum blood surge, paranormal blood surge, blight for the supernatural blight, because what I do is actually cast Sever, teleport to the enemy. While teleporting on to the enemy, while on my way, I can actually cast again. So that's when I'm using Blight. You probably see me doing that here. That's when I'm using Blight, and when I land on the other location, I can safely use Reap and Blood Surge to destroy it, right? No Blood Mist, that's for the noobs. Grim Harvest, Fueled by Death, also Death's Embrace, Death's Approach, Amplify Damage, Decrepify with Abhorrent Decrepify. So when we walk around, we also reduce our cooldown of Bone Storm and Sever. That's pretty neat. All the blood passives on 1 point except Coalesce Blood and Title Blood for the damage, as many as possible. 1 point to Corpse Tendrils. I know, because of the Curor's Embrace it's not really possible to use it, but it could come in handy, especially with those large packs of enemies. And some of them are like Frozen or Firehound and bullshit affixes like that. So we can actually use this while severing, moving around and tendriling them so they don't do shit to us, we do shit to them. Reaper's Pursuit for more movement speed. I actually have quite the movement speed without it, and with it I can get to 200, so that's pretty good. We can also move more here to see Inspiring Leader, Standalone, no minions, and Memento Mori, Bone Storm with both upgrades, and of course Ratman's Vigor. For the Paragon board I am using on the main board Corporeal. The second board I'm using is Blood Buff, and here I have Essence. Then moving on to the board Flesh Eater, and I'm using Gravekeeper here for the damage to elites. And then I am moving to Scent of Death with the Glyph Control, because everything I walk nearby to, because of the Curse Aura, is basically crowd control, and that's a really good multiplier. Okay, blood begets blood, and I'm using the Glyph Dominate. Next thing I'm using here is Bone Graft with Territorial. And lastly, this is the board Wither, and I'm using Undaunted here. Basically, that's it. You do this part from Optimized, it becomes really obvious here, like it has too much attack speed, it could have better gear, it could have better master working, and the thing I'm using is, I don't have it here, the elixir for critical strike, chance and damage. So that's the thing to use. At least that's what I did, and it got me where I am. So I'll leave you with the rest of the rank here, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.
I need more time.
Okay, so here's my reward. Two things. Nothing of value, to be honest. Let me show you what I'm gonna do with my reward now.
That looks worn. I can fix it.